probably going to be the last day of harvest, fingers crossed. When we started, we lacked 20 acres. There's 6 acres in this field, and I've cut about half of it. So we're down to 17 acres of wheat. This wheat we're in right now is decent wheat. I have not had what I call any spectacular wheat. I had some wheat that really disappointed me, and I had some wheat that surprised me. And some of my biggest surprises is how well the wheat done in the wet areas, and then how poorly the wheat is done on the hills. I was expecting a lot more out of the hills than it was the flats. I didn't run Palisade this year, and I can definitely tell it that the weight got taller. We've had some go down. I love my little old combine, but I'm ready for something with some more ponies and a better straw chopper. I told Robert yesterday, this is the toughest sorry wheat I have ever cut. It is just it don't want to give up, it don't want to chop. It's hard. It's not hard to thresh, but it's just, it don't want to go through the combine. It just makes this old combine moan. But it don't help that the ground is so soft. This is the first field that was the first couple fields we've cut here that's actually been in decent shape. It's actually held us up. Everything else has been not fit or borderline. We burned off a wheat field this morning. We burned a 28-acre field off. I've got another 18-acre creek bottom to burn off, and about 10 acres. It's another 28-acre farm, but I'm not going to burn the whole farm, especially because it's got some sand on it, and it needs that straw. It needs that straw to help that sand. It's been another challenging wheat harvest. I've had something on this farm I have never had, and that is morning glories in the wheat. That field across the road especially, I've never had morning glories in the wheat. They haven't gave me any trouble cutting. It just makes the combine load up a little more. This wheat here got pretty tall. This is first year in a while that I'm not going to save any seed. I'm not saving any seed this year. We're not going to have but 100 acres of wheat this coming year. I'm backing off on wheat. I'm going to up my canola. The intentions are to have 100 acres of canola and 100 acres of wheat. I'm backing off on winter crops. I've been having up there around that 300 acre mark down to weight. Got to thinking back about last year, and you know, last year how I told you we was having a problem. The elevators wouldn't accept weight if it had deer poop in it. Well, this year I have not heard a single word about deer poop. I guess the deer decided not to poop in the wheat this year. Or Tyson might have got on the phone with the deer there and told them that they didn't need to be crapping in the wheat. I don't know which one. That problem magically just went away. I think it was, but it just last year just had a bunch of low quality wheat, and certain local elevators in the area didn't want to take it, while some said it wasn't an issue and took the wheat and ran business as usual. And the elevator that took the weight and didn't give people crap about it, I'm giving them a lot more business this year. And the one that gave everybody crap, less business. The next 14 acres we got to cut is just right across the road, and I could go to it with the header home, but I got to go between a house and a building to get into the field, and it's not wide enough for me to get my header through. So we're going to have to take the header off just to move right over there. I tell you something else is aggravating. You got half the header that is standing up good, and you got half the header that's down weight, so you got to put your header on the ground to get up and cut it all on the ground. There's a pile of dirt. I hate the deer. I hate it. They're nothing but a big giant rat. That's my opinion of it. They're a nuisance. And I know this is going to sound awful, but I see all these people on Facebook rescuing these baby deer. I don't slow down for them anymore. They can either get out the way or I'm running over them. They're not cute when they start getting in my pocketbook. Tired of them suckers eating my beans.
see you're always on my mind. And mama,
Just never know what I'm gonna be listening
I
to.
can hear your southern
And yes, before y'all start giving me a big old lecture about you need to be listening to your machine, you don't need to be listening to music. Well, I tell you what, you setting this son up 10 hours straight every day for 7 days, you gonna want to listen to something a little different than the combine. Cause you just gonna want to hear something different to break the silence, trust me. And we got some green grass here in a wet spot. And if you don't know your machine well enough and know what it sounds like, that you can't tell when something's wrong and when something changes, and you can't listen to the radio just a little bit and still hear that, you ain't much of an operator. That's my opinion. You can ask Robert. I've run this thing so much. If I can be outside listening to it. I've drove the truck so much I know what it's supposed to sound like from the outside, and I've run it in the cab so much I know what it's supposed to sound like on the inside. So I know when something changes on this old combine. Me and Robert looked back at it. We bought it in October 20th, 2016. Had 3,246 separator hours on it. And now it has 4,398 separator